Lisa, you just gave me an aha moment. I remember at one company I worked for, and they did this thing, they called it reverse mentoring. And maybe you teach that or promote that as well, I'm not sure. But my experience with it was that they set up these mentoring relationships where it was actually a more junior person in terms of, typical corporate hierarchy, who was then mentoring the more senior person. And as the more senior person, I've got to say, it felt strange. But actually, to your point, I got so much out of it. Do you see many places, many companies doing this type of reverse mentoring?
Yes, it's actually very much on the rise, and it can be really, really constructive. I don't like to call it reverse mentoring because to me, the term reverse mentoring has an implication that the more junior person has less to offer, right? We actually call it complementary mentoring, but it's the same idea. And in order for it really to be successful, there has to be this competency of creating psychological safety in the relationship. It can be so terrific because it provides exposure to the more junior person who's serving as the mentor. It provides a sense of awareness and exposure to kind of intergenerational, interlevel um, uh, ideologies, workings, perceptions for the more senior person. And it's a great mutual learning thing. It's so one of the things that I love about that modality of complementary mentoring is something that I talk about a lot, which is there are three elements of career success: performance, image, and exposure. Okay, so performance is how well you do the job. Image is how you're viewed in your industry or your organization. And exposure is exposure to people, resources, and opportunities, right? So if we call it the pie model, it's actually not my model. It comes from a guy named Harvey Coleman. But he calls it the pie model of career success. Performance plus image and exposure equal 100%, right? So I often ask groups, like, if I were to ask you to give me a percentage of career success that you think performance um, accounts for, what would it be? So I'll ask the two of you, like, knowing that P plus I plus E equals 100%, how much do you think performance matters?
Oh, I'm going to say 50%.
What do you think, Andresa?
No, 6% more. I think more performance.
Okay, so interestingly, what Coleman found is that performance only accounts for 10% of career success. It's table
What?
stakes, meaning,
Oh my God.
yes, I know, hold on to one of ours,
Oh
right?
my God.
You don't get the other 90% unless you do a good job. But I could do a lot. I can be adequate at my job and I can have less exposure to people, resources, and opportunities and be less well regarded. And you'll do much better than I'll do. Um, Even though, excuse me, I'll do much better than you do if I have that image and exposure because I know where to go to get the knowledge. I have the connections and the resources. And one of the things that's beautiful about complementary mentoring is that it gives the younger person, the more junior person, exposure, right? And allows them to really see what possibility is, understand how things are done, and have access in a way that they might not otherwise have had. So, the reaction, I love your reaction, Megan, because that's the reaction I get all the time is like, are you kidding me? I've been working so hard, right? And like I was told, I don't know if you were told this, but one of the things I can remember my parents telling me when I was young and really ambitious was just do so good a job that people can't ignore you, right? Just be really, really great at what it is you do. And yes, it's important to be really, really great, but it's not sufficient. You have to also have that exposure and you also have to understand how you show up and be well enough regarded in your industry to have full benefit of that success.